Okay, can you hear me now? Oh my gosh, there we go. I'm sorry. Wow, that means I've just been talking to myself the whole time. Okay, let's, here we go. I'm sorry. Okay, how long were y'all here? Did y'all see me make the rice? I mean, I guess you could see me doing it. I guess it doesn't really need much saying, but whatever. So my rice, I was toasting my rice, and then I added my chicken stock, my tomato bouillon, my tomato sauce, and after I toasted my rice, and then I added all of that, then I added garlic and onion powder and salt and pepper, and then I put the lid on. I microwaved my barbacoa, so it's heated up, and I have microwaved my tortillas in the microwave for 30 seconds to soften them up to help them roll a little better. And actually, they could use a little bit longer. So I didn't even see any chat. I was like, I see people here, but I don't see any chat. So I went to check, and then I saw you guys saying you can't hear me. So I'm so sorry about that, but that's okay. It's just the beginning. We're still relatively in the beginning of the stream. So I'm about to roll my flautas. Very similar to taquitos, except they are not deep fried. So I got some oil in here, just a regular vegetable oil or canola oil or peanut oil will work. I do not recommend using olive oil. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush some oil on here so that my flautas don't stick. Beautiful. And then we're going to roll up the flautas and we're going to put them on this here baking sheet. So there are my tortillas. All right, y'all can hear me now though, right? I hope so. Okay. Here's one tortilla. Let me grab some cheese too. Funny story, I was actually going to make nachos today, but I thought I had a brick of cheddar in the fridge, but I don't. All I have is these pre-shedded cheddars that my mother-in-law had while she was in town. So this is all the cheese I had to work with, and I'm like, all right, well then I'm gonna make flautas. So let's do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just brush this with olive oil, or I mean with canola oil. Brush it on the outside, a little bit on the inside, and then I'm going to add the meat. Just use your hands. Hands are your best tool. This is a great way to stretch. I know, it's not really my... Yes, I love Tillamook, and I thought I had some Tillamook in the fridge, but we don't. All I have is this cheese, so I'm like, all right, then I'm just going to make some flautas and let that melt away. Don't worry, I'll get the good stuff later. And also, there's not a lot left, so I'm not going to be reaching into the bag the whole time, so I'm just going to cut this up. I have easier access to the cheese. There we go. And I have a little bit of cheese right here. Very good. And now I'm going to roll. Roll, roll, roll the tortilla gently with all the meat. Na 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 na, but it's got dank cheese. Then you roll your flauta, and then you put it on your baking sheet, seam side down. And then that's pretty much it. You do that with the rest. Now, while I'm rolling this up, I will tell you how I made my barbacoa, because yesterday I made taquitos. And so whenever I went to the store, I went and picked up about a pound of beef chuck. You can also use a brisket if you want the more fatty meats. You can do that too. And what I did was I took it in my little pot over there and I seared it on all sides. And when it was seared on all sides, then I covered it in some beef stock. I added some lime juice. I also added some cumin, some salt and pepper. I added a cinnamon stick and a bay leaf, and then I just let it braise for 3 to 4 hours right here on the stovetop. Didn't mess with it, didn't mix it around. And then whenever it was done braising, it was perfectly tender and delicious. And then I rolled it in my my corn tortillas. And that's what I used to make my taquitos last night. Trust you have the good stuff, that Kraft cheese. It's mother-in-law's cheese, boomer cheese. Yeah, ain't that the truth. She was a delight to have, though. I was really happy she was able to come. It's a shame my son actually said his first word just after she left, and so she missed his first word. Poor dear. And it was mama. I knew it was going to be. She's like, I've been hearing him almost say it. So, yeah, the poor thing. She just missed it. She, like, said it. He said it just, like, a couple hours after she left for the airport. So, see? Look at that. I'm almost done. And then whenever I'm done with all of these, I'm going to put this in the oven. I have it heated to 375. That's just going to heat everything through. It's going to melt the cheese on the inside. And it's going to heat the meat through if it hasn't been done heated through yet. Oh, who's here? What's up, Tesla? You're here for my stream. Don't worry, Tesla. You didn't miss much. I was actually apparently muted for the first 10 minutes of my stream, so my bad. So all that you got was me like not saying anything and making rice, and I didn't see chat, so it was pretty bad. I guess that just means I'll have to do another cooking stream later on this week. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna make. Like, I'm running low on meat here too. But that's alright. Flautas don't need a lot of meat. Otherwise, you'd just be making yourself a burrito, right? These are kind of like mini burritos. Little mini cheese roll-up burritos. I mean, all Mexican food and Italian food is pretty much like the same, you know, 5 basic ingredients just rearranged in a different way. Right? Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if all these brands like Tillamook, I don't know how to say that, Nongshim and Annie's would take over if their competitors' brands like Kraft, Bluebell, General Mills, and shit would just go extinct. I don't know. I rather like Bluebell ice cream myself, so I hope they don't go extinct. Alright, so that's the last of it. It's my last tortilla. I'm going to put in the last of my meat. This one's got a lot of fat in it, so I'll save that for my husband. I'm just going to add the last of my cheese. Again, this is just the cheese that I had in my fridge that my mother-in-law left over. I do not recommend you use this pre-shredded cheese. Buy it in a block and grate it yourself, you lazy bastards. I grew up with Bluebell and I never tried it. You should try I like the Tillamook ice cream, but the Texan in me has too much pride to admit that the non-Texan brand ice cream isn't as good. Okay, it took me a while to bite the bullet with In-N-Out, but In-N-Out is the superior burger, I have to say. Alright, so clean this up. So here are my rolled flautas. So I have my oil brushed up on top. Make sure it's the seam side down so nothing gets all out and all over the place. I'm actually going to brush it with a little bit more oil on top so it has a nice sheen whenever I take it out of the oven and it crisps up. It's going to be crunchy, but not like a crunch bar, not like a peanut or whatever. But it's going to have a nice texture. So there is that, and that's it. I'm just going to stick it in the oven for 20 minutes. And while that cooks through and gets delicious and stuff, I'm actually going to make my salsas and my guacamole and my crema. And I can do that while all of this is cooking, so have multiple steps going on at once, and you can keep cooking. Kraft pre-shredded cheese has an artificial shit that covers the cheese. Yeah, it's actually just like a starch powder. It's not necessarily bad for you, it's just, you know, it's starch. It's an unnecessary calorie. So I actually had a half a tomato already sliced from my salad this afternoon, so I'm going to use that as well. I like to have multiple uses for my ingredients. You know, like when I buy tomatoes, if I'm not using them all at once to make a salsa, I want to make sure that I'm at least using it in other things. Otherwise, I'll just have a bunch of tomatoes. So my base ingredients for my guac are the same as what I put in my salsas or my pico. So I just like to chop them up all at once. And I put them in the 2 separate bowls. Works out pretty nice. Works out pretty nice for me. So there is my tomatoes. These are chopped up. These are chopped up a little bit more finely because I don't want giant chunks of tomato in my salsa. Yeah, there we go. I'll put it in here anyway. It'll be alright. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's sorry. It's sorry. And I already washed all of my vegetables. Wash your vegetables when you take them home from the store, y'all. You don't know what the people have done to it before. They could have sneezed on it, They could have made out with it. They could have dropped it on the floor and didn't dust it off when they picked it up. So wash your vegetables whenever you buy them and bring them home from the store. It's not that hard. It doesn't take a minute. All right. So there's that. Am I coming in clear, y'all? Y'all can hear me now, right? I hope so. I should, you know, in hindsight, I probably should have done the tomatoes last because I'm getting a lot of moisture on this cutting board and I have other stuff to cut. Indeed, yes. Yeah, you know, could have made out with it, could have done unspeakable bad things, touching it in ways it hasn't been touched before without the proper consent. So, just go ahead and chop. And I do not advise that you copy my chopping technique. There we go. Beautiful. Waits to soften. I'm just going to save this tomato for another time. Okay. Alright, so next I've got some garlic. Just going to add some garlic cloves. This is a very tight head of garlic. That shows that it's in good condition. That is pretty fresh when the garlic is packed very tightly. So I'm just going to grab 2 cloves of garlic. One of my favorite ingredients next to tomatoes. It's probably why I like salsa so much. It's because it's garlic and tomatoes. And limes, which is another one of my favorites. I love citrus limes and I love lemons. I love that fresh flavor. Anyway, what's up, Tesla? How was Metal Gear Solid? Did you enjoy it? Alright. I'm not going to spend forever peeling these bad boys. Quick way to peel garlic. Oh, also, the other day, actually, I think it was yesterday, I did that trick where you put a bunch of garlic cloves in like a jar and you just shake it up really fast. And that peels the garlic for you. It separates the cloves from the peels. It actually worked. You do spend a little bit of time like peeling the little bits off though. So I don't know if it's very practical, but it does work. Was only doing the tanker. I don't know what the tanker is. I only played the first Metal Gear Solid. And I didn't care for it. I thought that there was too much dialogue. The cutscenes went on too long. So I'll just cut up this garlic nice and finely. There you go. And just for reference for y'all, my oven is at 375 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I'm sorry, you'll have to figure that out. I know what? It's an interactive film. In a way, it's an interactive film. Yeah, I don't want to watch an interactive or do an interactive film. It's not really my buzz, you know. I want you to see this. It's such a beautiful set of colors. Salsa is so pretty. Salsa is like a painting to me because it's got all these vibrant, beautiful colors in addition to all that beautiful flavor. I mean, it's one of my favorites for a reason. All right, now a jalapeno. 190. All right, 190 Celsius oven. My oven runs pretty hot. Most ovens will probably tell you to put it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, but my oven runs really hot, and we all remember whenever my oven, when my oven went too hot and all the smoke got into the air and then my thing went off. We don't need a repeat of that, especially when I got a sleeping baby. Baby's asleep. And you know that, and I know that. But does he know that? Let's go ahead and cut that off. I totally cut this the wrong way. I have my own technique of cutting a jalapeno, but whatever. So, if you don't want too much heat, remove the seeds and the ribs. I myself like a little bit of heat, so I'm going to keep some of the ribs in. So, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. There we go. There we go. Now you can see me do everything. Kojima always wanted to be a film director. That's how he'd move. I mean, games are cinema. Yeah, my friend told me that too. My friend Sean. And I guess somehow he made that his strength. But from what I understand, Kojima needs to be reeled in. He has a lot of good ideas, but he needs somebody to tell him, okay, but this doesn't work, or this doesn't work. And it looks like that's what the case was with the first game. And apparently in the games following, that wasn't the case at all. They're like, so you're going to make us a lot of money, right? Okay, so do whatever you want. And that's why some of his games are a little bit much. It's kind of late. How's the cooking been? Well, Flame, the first 10 minutes I didn't realize that my mic was muted. My mic was muted. That my mic was muted. So I didn't know, y'all couldn't hear me, so all you guys saw was me stirring rice. Which, by the way, we've got about 1 minute left, and we'll take a look at that. But wash your hands. You must always wash your hands when you're dealing with a jalapeno. Otherwise, you can rub your eyes, and that would be really bad. That would be very painful. There you go. Covering my cookie jar. Oh, rip. That's okay. At least I went and found out sooner or later, right? Okay. So, before I get started on my shallot, normally I would use a red onion, but I don't have a red onion. All I have is this shallot, so I'm going to put that in there too. And then we're going to start making the guac. And we're also going to make the sour cream, the crema, which won't take very long. I mean, this meal is coming together very quickly. So, shallots are an onion themselves, I think, but it's a much more mild flavor. So, it works in a pico and it works in a guac if you don't want a super potent oniony flavor. All right, get this done. All right, so there's my timer. Let's go ahead and check. Oh my gosh, it's already almost 8:30. I don't know if I'll stream a game tonight. I might, because it's a lot of fun to stream a game. Yes, this is a Tex-Mex dish. Let's check on our rice, see how far along we are. Oh yes, needs a little bit more time. Needs a little mixing too. Oh, look at that. Looks so good. Looks like it could also use a little bit more stock. Just a little bit more liquid. What's up, Homer? I'm making flautas and Mexican rice. There we go. Got a little bit more liquid to keep it moving along. Yes, it's almost done. Oh my gosh, it is so good. So just a reminder what we had in here. I just toasted some white rice and some regular olive oil or canola oil. Gotta stop saying olive oil. It's not olive oil. I added some chicken stock, some tomato sauce, a tomato bouillon, garlic and onion powder, salt and pepper, and that's it. Or that looks more than lush. God, I wish I was over at yours right now. Does my husband ever cook? Sometimes. Sometimes he does. But I'm usually the cook in the family, so I'm the one that does most of the dishes. But he does cook. He actually made me waffles this morning, and that was really nice. So let's go ahead and cut up the shallot. More mild oniony flavor. But I don't have a red onion in the house, so I'm just going to cut up the shallot myself. Cut up the shallot instead. It'll get the job done. It'll get you there. It's like the hand job of onions, you know. It'll get you there. Sometimes you want something a little more mild, yeah? Bouillon. That's right, Bouie. That's right. My husband's aunt, she likes to use bouillon, chicken bouillon in her salsa, and it's really good. Actually, I might make that sometime this week. My husband bought some chips. I was going to use it to make the nachos tonight, but I didn't have enough meat. No, I didn't have the cheese. That's right. Oh my gosh, that shallot is making my eyes water. Alright, so here is my pico. Look at all those colors. You got your garlic, got your jalapenos, got your shallots, your tomatoes, got some salt and pepper in there. So now, let's go ahead and make the guac, which uses the same ingredients as that, except I add an avocado, of course. Now, the avocados I purchased were ripe yesterday, and I have this one, and I hope it's not overripe. If not, we'll just toss it, but we'll give it a shot. All right, wish me luck. Oh my gosh, guys, look, it's perfect. Woo! If your husband's not camera shy, would it be an idea of going on a cooking stream with you? Or maybe as a sort of, okay, I want to surprise my love if I want to show you what I'm going to do. I mean, I don't think he likes being on camera, but I can ask him and we can like do something together. All right, now I'm always scared to do this part, so removing the pit. So I'm just going to, I don't want to hold it. I don't want the knife to like go through my hand. Oh, thank God. It came out so perfectly. Now, a lot of people, when they cut up their avocados, like to do that thing where they keep it in the shell and then they make the little plaid, the lines to make all the squares and scoop it out with a spoon, but that's not how I do it. I just do it like this. I just quarter it, peel it off, put it in my bowl. All right, check this out. You guys are gonna shit. You're gonna shit. You guys are gonna shit. I peel that, and then to mash it, oh, there's a little bit left on the shell. You can eat that. Oh, there's a little bit of the root end too. I don't need that neither. Don't worry, I washed my hands before this. All right, so here's what I like to do. I like to take my lime, which I'm gonna add to my salsa here in a second. I always add the cilantro last because the cilantro likes to stick to everything. So I like to make sure that that goes in last. So I got my lime, got lime right here. Oh my God, this avocado, guys, is so perfect. It adds a little bit of moisture. Okay, that root end is annoying me. There we go, it's gone, it's gone. What I use is a whisk. Oh, my bad. I use a whisk to mash up my avocados. Gets it to the perfect consistency every time. The lime juice kind of moves it along, softens it a little bit. And of course it imparts that lime juice flavor. And that's it. See, look how easy this is. Look how it's just getting into the perfect consistency. You can make it chunky. You can stop it right here and just have a chunky guac, or you can make it a little finer. Some people like to put it in a processor and make a guacamole paste. I don't like that. I think that's it's a little too silky. I think the beauty in a guac is that it can be a little chunky. It has texture to it, kind of like your salsa. Liquid salsa, it's okay, but it falls off the chip. Very good. You know, I tried feeding my son avocado, but he didn't like it, and I was very heartbroken, but I was also like, okay, more for me. Actually, I bought 2 avocados, and one of them was for him, and he didn't like it, so I ate the other one myself. See, look at that. Perfect. Oh, so good. Really quick, I'm going to check on my flautas. All right, they're coming along. They're starting to get brown, so let's move this along. So let's add some of my pico to it. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt for the avocado. A little bit more of this. A little bit more of my lime juice. And a little bit of my pepper. Just mix it up. Because we have one more thing to make. Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, doesn't that look so good? All right, so these are my 2 sauces so far. I'm gonna have one more peek at my flautas. Yeah, we got a little bit more time. So now I'm going to make my crema, my lime crema. And now that is, you guys ready for this? All this is going to be is some sour cream, little dollop. I'm going to use some lime zest. I probably should have zested this lime beforehand, but that's okay. It's kind of awkward. I have another lime, but I'll do that later. Gonna add a little bit of lime zest to my sour cream here. I'm also going to add the lime juice of half a lime. Yes, it's good. I love my zester. If you're going to have any sort of citrus, get the zest too. That's more flavor. Also, if you want to have some sort of citrus flavor in like a cream dish, you don't want your cream to curdle, obviously. So you can go ahead and just add the zest and you'll have the flavor, but not the acid. Pretty cool. Pretty cool trick, huh? Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Awesome. Add a little bit more lime juice. And that is it. Oh, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt though. Add a little bit of salt. Even your dippings can have a flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. I'm gonna mix this, and it's gonna be a delicious pourable consistency, spreadable consistency. I believe I've tried eating guacamole before, but I don't think I was much excited for it. My dad trying with it, but it wasn't exactly pleasant. That's a shame. Are you sure it wasn't wasabi from a sushi restaurant? No, wasabi. The same. What's up with you? Wow, this is a good lime. I'm getting a lot of juice from it. Okay. I'm gonna turn off my stove with my rice, and I'm gonna check on that, and then we're about ready to plate. Would chive be nice with this sour cream? Sure. I don't think you really need to add chives to this because there's already onion or shallots in the guac and the pico. But yeah, you can add chives with sour cream. That would give you a bit of a different flavor profile. Not really akin to Tex-Mex, but that's like a popular dipping here. So look at that. Look at the consistency of this. It's almost spreadable. All right, let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's look at our rice really quick. Let's look at our rice. Oh, that looks so good. Some of it kind of caked on the bottom. That's okay. I would have known if it was wasabi. Yeah, fair enough. Rice is perfect. Gonna take that off the heat, let it sit. We're gonna finish everything else up. Let's get these flautas out. Oh, look at that. They're nice and brown. They got a little brownness on the edges. Let me pick up my phone here. Got a little brownness on the edges, a little nice little crunchy top. Those are gonna be so good. Okay, let's finish up our sauces here. We're gonna let the flautas cook, or cool off, rather. And I got one more ingredient to add. This is a lot going, it's not going in the tortillas, it's going on top. These are toppings for my flautas. So let's go ahead and add our cilantro. I always like to add cilantro last. Cilantro likes to stick to everything. I think y'all across the pond like to call it coriander. But I like cilantro. If you guys don't like cilantro, leave it out. There's no reason to add something that you're not gonna like. There's apparently a genetic disposition that makes cilantro or coriander taste like soap. I mean, I've never thought about that. I've always loved cilantro, but some people, it really just tastes like total ass crack. Hola, Ariel, ¿cómo estás? Estoy cocinando. There we go. So there's that. Add my cilantro to my salsa. Add some to my guacamole. I'm gonna add a little bit to my crema. Crema is Spanish for sour cream. There you go. There's that. Are they really named flautas just like the musical instrument? I don't know. I don't know why they're called flautas. But they're good though. Alrighty. There's my guac. How's this looking to y'all? Yeah, coriander's a bit weird. I don't know if I have the chemical taste, but it's interesting. I love cilantro too. And I love cilantro too, random citizen. Alright, and my salsa pico. Alrighty, so now I think we're about ready to plate up, y'all. Gonna mix in my cilantro with my pico. And if you don't like it chunky like this, of course you can add it to a food processor and just blend it away and liquefy it. Some people prefer it that way. I kind of like a little bit of texture, as I said before. Okay, now let me grab a plate. Since my husband's the hungry man of the family, this is not a clean plate. Gross. Since my husband's the hungry man of the family, he can have 2 flautas, and I'm going to have, or 3 flautas, I'm going to have 2. So I'm going to just take mine from the middle here. So this is my flauta. I'm going to put a little bit of my crema on top. Oop, got some on my dress. And I'm gonna add some pico. Oh gosh, guys, this smells so freaking good. I like those white wavy shaped bowls. Where did you get yours? Oh, I got them from Amazon. And a big old dollop of guacamole. Oh yeah. Okay, now for my rice. Oh gosh, that's so good. I just like ate some of the guac and I got a jalapeno in there. And I love jalapenos. I love anything with a lot of heat in it. All right, and for my Mexican rice, we're gonna put that here on the side. Let's look at that bright red, beautiful color. And a little bit more. And a little bit of cilantro on top. Boom! How does that look? Barbacoa flautas with Mexican rice, with guacamole, pico, lime crema. But we're not done yet because I have one more thing I'm gonna have with this. One more thing I'm gonna add. My corona, mi cerveza. This is good eating right there. You got colors and everything looks beautiful. Yes, now as always with my, oh crap. Okay, well, looks like this can got dropped. So I guess just as a bonus for you guys, I'm gonna open it and hope it doesn't explode on me. But as always with my cooking streams, I'm gonna take a bite to show y'all, and then I'm going to end the stream to finish eating. And if you like, I can do a stream later if you want. And I can tell you about how good it was. Okay, here we go. See the bottom of the can is warped, so. Oh gosh. Oh, okay, well, that was anticlimactic. Okay, let's put that there. All right, first eat, let's do this. Let's do our first bite, and I can give you a cross section of the flauta. But the only thing missing is some yellow, like a sweet corn cob. Some people put corn in their Mexican rice, so there you go. Okay, here we go. Let's get this open. Cut open my flauta. Look at that. It's got the meat in there. It's got the melted cheese in there. I'm gonna add my crema, my guacamole, my pico. Mmm. 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 Oh, that's good. Oh. That barbacoa is so good. I'll show you guys how I made it some other time. Now for the rice. It's hot. That is divine. The garlic powder and the onion powder and the tomato bouillon just sends it. This is just fantastic. Probably would have lowered my heat a little bit while it was cooking, but this is just dynamite. All right. Oh, it's only been 45 minutes. Wow. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to clean up my kitchen. And then after that, I'm going to shower up. And then if I have the energy for it, and I should, I will stream more Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I hope to see you guys there. But until then, my name is Harvey McLeod, and I'm here to cook stuff for you. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.